What's up guys, Regieleki 333. We're here with another deck profile of the Scarlet and Violet post-rotation format. Today we're going to look at Miraidon EX, a deck that is brand new, so I don't have as much play with it, but it does look like it will be a force to be reckoned with, but it has some glaring weaknesses as well, which we're going to go over here. So to start off, Miraidon EX has the tandem unit ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 basic lightning Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Now that's once per turn per Miraidon, so you can use Miraidon to get more Pokemon. So you can get a full bench off of just one Miraidon EX that you start with. So that is amazing. We also have the Regieleki V here with the fleet-footed, where you can draw a card. Their attacks that they have are Photon Blaster for 220, you can't attack next turn for 3 energy, and for 2 energy, Lightning Rondo, 20 plus 20 for each of the bench Pokemon that both you and your opponent have in total. So these are generally your 2 main attackers here. Sometimes in the Lost Box matchup, I do feel that Regieleki V is a better attacker. We do have the Switching Bolt 30 and switch this with one of your bench Pokemon. You usually aren't trying to use that, but it's not a bad attack, and it can be boosted up with the VMAXs that are in here. We also have Lightning Wall, the best attack that this deck has against Lost Box, which is still an egregiously awful matchup. Does 100, and then you take 100 less damage next turn, but you do that after applying weakness and resistance, so the Galarian Zapdos still one-shots you. Regieleki VMAX is what it evolves into. We do have the Transistor ability where your basic lightning Pokemon's attacks do 30 more, so that does not boost itself or other Regieleki VMAXs since they are VMAX stages. They are not basic Pokemon. But it does boost the Raikou, the basic Regieleki V, and the Miraidon EX. We also have Max Thunder and Lightning, which is the same attack as the Miraidon, funnily enough. We also have a few Klefki in here with the Mischievous Lock. If it's in the active spot, basic Pokemon in play do not have abilities. This is used to slow down Mew. It's used to slow down Lost Box, just so that you can get your setup going. It's a little bad that you have to rely on something like this, but I mean, it does kind of cripple those decks. You want to make sure you get 2 of these out against those decks just because they both play Escape Rope, and if they Escape Rope your only Klefki out of the active, they're no longer under that lock. It also has this cool Joust attack, 10 damage, and before doing damage, discard all tools your opponent has on their active Pokemon, so that's pretty cool. We also have a Drapion V just for the Mew Wild Style. It attacks for free basically against Mew VMAX and one-shots it. Is pretty much all that this attack says. Yeah, so 1 colorless less for each single, rapid, and fusion strike Pokemon in play of your opponents, and then 190 is the attack. Do 60 to one of your own Pokemon. So yeah, great against Mew. You usually want to use it as your last 3 prizes. You do not want to use this early in the game because you can then just get Rock Sand and lose the game. You always just pull this out, like maybe off of a Nest Ball, and retreat into it and attack out of nowhere. You also don't want to bench it early in case it gets knocked out. Some basic Drapion facts. We also have some electric generators. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Attach up to 2 basic lightning energy cards you find there to your bench lightning Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck, very much like the Max Elixir of old. Very similar in that regard, but this only works on the lightning Pokemon in your deck. We also have Escape Rope of our own here to switch your opponent's active, and then you switch your own. We have Nest Ball in here to try to get our setup going. Maybe you don't start with Miraidon, you Nest Ball for the Miraidon, and then use the Miraidon to set up more, or you Nest Ball for your Klefki to retreat into it to slow down your opponents. We also have Switch Cart in here. Might as well play Switch Cart because most of our Pokemon are basic Pokemon. The only one that isn't is Regieleki VMAX, which does have free retreat. So you can use this instead of the regular switch to also heal your Pokemon. Is pretty good, especially against the Lost Box matchup. We also have Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards to search your deck for Pokemon. Is pretty good. Beach Court, all your Pokemon have 1 retreat cost for the most part, so this makes them free retreat, which is great. We have Arven in here. Search your deck for an item and a tool and put them into your hand. You can use that to get EXP share as a tool and the electric generator as the item, so not too bad. We also have boss's orders, pretty self-explanatory. Pick off whatever one of your opponent's Pokemon you'd like. We also have Judge, really great against Lost Box to disrupt their big hands, and also is just a great way to shuffle your hand back into your deck and draw more cards. A little weaker than Youngster, because Youngster can get 5 cards, but the fact that you disrupt your opponent is just better. We also have Research. This is the best research. It does look like the Ninja Neck himself if he was putting on glasses. You guys can't tell because I really need a haircut, but that's usually how my hair looks when I cut it. So discard your hand, draw 7, best supporter in the game. We have Serena. You can discard up to 3 cards in your hand and then draw until you have 5 cards, or you can gust up your opponent's bench Pokemon V into the active spot. So pretty good with either of those effects. We also have the experience share. If your active Pokemon is knocked out, you can move a basic energy from that Pokemon to the Pokemon this card is attached to. Tool cards are now just tools. They are no longer items. As you can see, this says Pokemon Tool, and it has this purple rule box on the bottom. So very important to know, as opposed to this older one that says item and then tool. So Forest Sealstone, the Pokemon V it's attached to, can search your deck for 1 card, put it into your hand as a V-Star power. That works under Path to the Peak. And then we have 14 basic lightning energy, because we want to make sure our electric generators hit. So that is the entire deck profile. You can actually kind of see the whole thing from this angle here. But we're going to start getting into some games with this. Also, we're in Great Ball tier with Greninja, which is pretty great. So this Miraidon deck can hit very hard, much like Mew. However, the fighting weakness is pretty bad as opposed to a deck like Lugia, where it has the lightning weakness that's pretty bad, but has Dunsparce to counteract that if you want to do that. There is no way to get rid of your weakness currently in this deck. I do believe in the next set we will be getting a card that's a tool card called Safety Goggles that will get rid of weakness of your basic Pokemon. But that's not out yet, so we're going to have to make do with what we got. Looks like we are starting Drapion. That is the worst starter in the deck. Unless we are against Mew VMAX, this card is dead, so we do not want it in play. And even against Mew VMAX, you do not want to have this early, because again, you want to take your last prize cards with it if you can. So, very unfortunate start here. We are going to Nest Ball. I am going to grab the Miraidon. That way we can start getting set up. So we're going to use Miraidon to Tandem Unit to get another Miraidon and a Regieleki. And then we're going to use this Miraidon's Tandem Unit. And we are going to grab Raikou, Regieleki. Since we don't have any outs to the Klefki right now, and we also don't even have the Beach Court to retreat. So we are going to put a lightning well, I'm going to see the electric generator first. Looks like the top 5 cards had no energy, so that is pretty bad if I do say so myself. We are going to just attach the Raikou and pass. Hopefully our opponent is not playing the Fusion Strike energy build, which I do believe is the better build currently in this format. Because if they do, and attach for turn to a Meloetta and Elisa Sparkle at the same time, they will be able to knock us out, and we will not have Drapion for the rest of the game. So that will be a big sad. Looks like the Battle VIP Pass gets another Mew V and a Genesect V. We have another Genesect V from the hand. Again, hopefully they do not have Meloetta in this deck. Looks like they have 4 cards in hand and they're not doing anything right now. It might be a little clogged up. They might not have any Ultra Balls or Nest Balls or anything that they can play right now. Even Feather Ball is what the regular one plays. And it looks like we do see a Path to the Peak. So if we can actually top deck that Stadium card, we might be able to do something. Oh, actually, we would have to retreat. So looks like we are going to get judged. That will give us a much better hand. But again, this Drapion is locked active. So we are going to need the Stadium card just so that we can... Oh, and here we do. So Drapion will actually be taking our first 2 prize cards because we're forced into this position right now. We are also going to Electric Generator 1 energy. I'm going to put it on this Eleki V. And then evolve it. Actually, I probably should have put it on the Miraidon. I just played against Lost Box before I started filming the video, so that would be why. And we are going to research here. Looks like we do get a Forest Seal Stone. We could use that to get another electric generator and try to use it, but I don't think that that is the play. So our opponent does have 4 Pokemon in play, so Drapion is attacking for free. What I am going to do is I'm going to attach to the Miraidon now. Spread out our energies here. We're going to also go in with this Regieleki VMAX. We have both of those now. And for fun measures, we are going to attach the Forest Seal Stone. Now we are going to Dynamic Tail for 380 damage, taking our first 2 prize cards of the game. And who do we want to damage? I'm going to damage the Drapion itself, just because this is most likely getting knocked out next turn anyway, so I'd rather not put any damage on any of my other Pokemon if I can avoid it. All that they need is 1 damage modifier, like a Choice Belt. They are down 1 Choice Belt, but they do have the ability to play the Power Tablet, so if they go double turbo Power Tablet, they would just be able to knock out Drapion anyway, so might as well just have this damage on here. We do get another Regieleki VMAX and another basic lightning energy off the prize cards. The big weakness of this deck is just that you have to play so many basic lightning to get the electric generator off. I'm almost thinking of downsizing it slightly and then playing energy recycler, but then you'd have to wait until late game to even get them off, so it's a little rough. The fact that we still haven't seen a Meloetta makes me really think that this does not play that. And what is this? Look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck and put them on the top of your deck in any order. That's interesting. So that is kind of like Rotom Phone, I suppose. I think Rotom Phone is a lot better. And Rotom Phone is still in format. I do believe that's a Fusion Strike card. Again, no Meloettas. They are playing a Power Tablet just so that they can draw more cards. So again, putting the damage on Drapion is even more beneficial here. And no Meloettas whatsoever. Good. So Raikou will be able to hit for a knockout on anything that is on the bench for my opponent, since it does 20 plus 20 for each Pokemon in play is 220 currently. Because that's 100 on my opponent's side, 100 on my side. I will have to bench a Klefki to do that, because obviously we are getting knocked out here. One of the annoying things that I think about live is that all of your opponent's Pokemon are facing the same direction as yours. I kind of wish that they didn't go that route. It's more likely that they just got lazy with coding and didn't want to code in the cards facing the opposite direction, because they'd have to face a different angle, so they'd have to like put in more art into the game that way. So that's probably why they did it. They are getting rid of the Forest Seal, so a little unfortunate that I did not get use out of that before it got lost vacuumed, but that is the price we pay for trying to save it for a turn where we really need it. Would love to see another Professor's Research here this turn. I am going to just promote you. You have free retreat, so why not? And what do we draw for turn? Yet another basic lightning. Oof. Alright. So we're not going to be able to take a knockout this turn. We are just going to attack with the Raikou V and hope and pray. So I'm going to retreat here. Going to go in with the Raikou. We can draw one more card with Fleet-Footed. Maybe we'll draw into something good. We do get a Research, actually, so we are going to go ahead and play that. Losing a lot of lightning energy, but that's fine. We do also get an Ultra Ball, I think. Do I want to just thin my hand down? No, because I kind of want to put this Alecki down next turn when we get knocked out, so... Oh, also, we're hitting 220 plus the 60, so 280. So a little short here, unfortunately. So yeah, had we not started the Drapion, that would have been an additional Regieleki V, which would now be a VMAX, because we had the VMAX previously in our hand. We'd actually have been taking the knockout on the Mew VMAX with Raikou. So they are using Cram-O-Matic here. They did retreat. They are forced to do this play and get this Mew V into a VMAX here, which isn't bad. That way, we know that this damage sticks. You don't want them to Psychic Leap. Oh, they are going to switch, though. So they might Psychic Leap now. But that won't knock me out. So that will actually put them behind if they do that. And we'll be able to take a 2-prize knockout on anything that they decide to put up instead. So definitely need to see them cross Fusion Strike for Technoblast for the knockout. But no, they're going for the Psychic Leap and shuffling themselves back in. I don't think that that's quite the play. I also hate that metal sound effect. Alright, we do get another electric generator. Let's see. We do fail that. That's unfortunate. Failing those left and right here. I am going to put another basic lightning on Miraidon EX. I could judge, but we already kind of established the fact that my opponent's hand is dead, right? So I think we just go in with the lightning rondo and take the knockout. We still hit for 200, even though the path to the peak is shutting off both our Regieleki VMAXs. So that is perfect math here. We are going down to 2 prize cards. Our opponent now still needs to dig back into that Mew VMAX that we so heavily damaged before. And now all that we are is 1 gusting card on a Genesect away from being able to take another knockout, attaching a basic lightning to our Miraidon EX as well. So even though I felt like this was... Oh, we do get judged here. So even though I felt like we were drawing pretty poorly, it looks like we were in the spot to win, but unfortunately that judge is really putting us in another bind here. So here's the question. We might have to, if our hand continues to stay dead, we might have to retreat into Klefki. But nope, we do get this. Alright, so we're going to EXP share, attach for turn, research. We don't play like Pokemon Catcher though. Yeah, see, this is a problem. So if my opponent just has like a boss's orders, we lose. But I think that that's what we have to go for. So yeah, I think that, I think the only way to win is to make sure we don't lose. If that makes sense. I am also gonna Ultra Ball away these 2, just to thin in case we get judged again. We'll end the turn. Now we have the energy to retreat and both Boss and Serena for next turn. So that judge really, really hurt us. We had the win in hand, and now it's up to our opponent to see if they have the boss or not. They have the Lost Vacuum, so they will be able to use some Genesects this turn to draw some cards. So we'll have to see if the Klefki is enough. We do need to see an escape rope from them as well. But I think maybe the Klefki is doing it. Because they'll have to... Oh, he's using the Forest Seal Stone to get the escape rope, and now we lose. So the only thing I can think of to do is to put up the Regieleki VMAX and hope that that does not knock us out. Our opponent's gonna have to dig for some, either a boss's orders or the power tablets in order to take the knockout. So we'll have to see if they get to that. Yeah, so it would have been better to have another Klefki down instead of this Aleki. So, if I had the option, that was a misplay. If I didn't have the option, it wasn't, but I can't remember that far back in the game already. So they are going to continuously Fusion Strike System because they are not in the Klefki lock anymore, and we see the boss's orders, and we barely lose the game. So again, if they did not play that judge, we won. And if we somehow got a second Klefki down, we won as well. But that was not in the cards for us. So our opponent is... Oh, they still need the damage modifier because they're still only doing 190. And there it is. Okay. Yeah, so our opponent got that one. So props on them. But that was a really close game. And I think that really showcases how even of a matchup this is. But how important the Klefki is as well. You cannot play this deck without Klefki. Alright, opponent wins the coin flip, so they're probably going first. So let's see what kind of a start we get. Hopefully we have maybe a Miraidon start. We do not want that Drapion start. That Drapion start is also what killed us in that other game. So we would have been able to pull that out later in the game as well. Looks like we are against Gardevoir. That is an interesting matchup. I think that is unfavored for us because they have mostly one prize attackers. But they do have to evolve, and we do not. They are very reliant on rare candy or just straight up evolving twice. So we are going to draw our one card for the mulligan. Our hand is not too bad. We do have an Arven. We can get a Nest Ball with that. Actually, we have the Miraidon as our start, so we can just tandem unit for a couple of cards. Looks like they're also playing Deoxys V. This attacks us 30 more for each psychic energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is either evolving into Deoxys VMAX or Deoxys V Star. Ooh, what is that energy? The holo looks so cool on PTCGO like that. 2013. All right, well, we have 2 lightning energies. So we're going to tandem unit. We are going to grab Miraidon, Raikou. And then we are going to Miraidon, tandem unit for double Regieleki. Actually, while we're in here, let's look at the rest of the cards in our deck. We have 1 Regieleki VMAX left. 1 electric generator left, even. Interesting. Alright. We can also... We have 3 Regieleki VMAXs in hand, is kind of insane. So I'm gonna Arven for electric generator, and the tool card will be the Forest Seal Stone. I don't think we're going to get knocked out on this next turn, so I'd rather just have the Forest Seal. Now we can electric generator. We get 1 energy. I will put that onto Miraidon, and then we will electric generator again. And we get 1 more energy. We will put that down onto Raikou. And then we will attach for turn onto Miraidon. And then we will pass. Our hand is completely dead after that. But if we really have to, we can retreat Miraidon into Raikou. And then Lightning Fleet-Footed. That's the name of the ability. Fleet-Footed. Looks like they are going to evolve into Mirage Step, Kirlia Switch, and they will be using Mirage Step. So, for those who don't know, Mirage Step actually gets you 3 Kirlia from the deck onto the bench. So, they will be very well set up after this. They're also using an Arven just for good measure here. They're probably going to get maybe a Forest Seal Stone for the Deoxys, or a Sky Seal Stone even would be kind of scary. Yeah, maybe I should have just committed all the energy to the same place instead of spreading them onto the 2. Just because of the fact that my hand is so dead. Looks like we're going for the Deoxys V-Star. That is the reprint from Crown Zenith. So what does this guy even do? Because I don't remember. 190 plus 60 to 1 of your opponent's bench Pokemon V. That's not very good. I mean, it's okay. 60 damage for each energy attached to both actives. Yeah, I don't think that's a very good card. Anywho, we're going to go Evolve, Ultra Ball, Bomb. We are going to grab another Regieleki V. We already got 3 attackers in play, so. Now we will research. Alright, we have another electric generator. We get another 1 energy. So I will put it on... Do I want to attack with... I think I want to attack with Miraidon. We can also Ultra Ball preemptive. I don't know. I think we just retreat here. Into Miraidon, and then we will Photon Blaster for way more than we need to because we have 2 Regieleki VMAXs. So that is 280. And we get a Serena. So if they don't put this up, we can always Serena it up as well. So we're actually off to a pretty hot start. Oh, also, these are all the promo ones. The pre-release promo refinement ones. That's pretty cool. It's almost like they made these pre-release promos because they knew that Gardevoir EX was coming out in the next set. Looks like they're going to discard Zacian to draw 2 with the first refinement. We also get Radiant Greninja here as well. So the scary thing will be if they can draw into Gardevoirs. They do have a very small hand. So we'll have to see if they brick or not. They should have at least one more refinement. I don't think they've used this one yet, so. See, in my opinion, they should have used Level Ball to get Ralts, and then refinement discard the Ralts. Because then you would have thinned your deck of that one more card. We see an attach for turn and Raihan, so we are going to see an attack of the Psychic Javelin here. But I don't believe that this will have any way to boost its damage, so the Miraidon should actually live this turn. Yeah, we see Choice Belt, but that does not work on Pokemon EX. So I wonder if our opponent knows that or not. Also, the Refinement also discarded a rare candy. We are going to see this Gardevoir now with the Shining Arcana. Draws 2 cards. If either of those are energy, you can attach them. Basic energy, right? Basic energy, yes. Yeah, so this next turn I plan to Ultra Ball away the Nest Ball and Drapion to get the 3rd VMAX. And then we're hitting, like, what, 310? Which is pretty poggers, if I do say so myself. Yeah, so the problem with the Psychic Javelin is if we don't knock this out on this turn, he can then Psychic Javelin again and then knock out 2 Pokemon at the same time. Looks like it does 60 here, so we still have 250 on this Regieleki VMAX. So we also get the Beach Court for good measure as well. So we are going to do that play I already stated. We can't play the Nest Ball because our bench is full. We are going to get the Regieleki VMAX. We are now hitting for 310. Big numbers. I am going to, let's see, so just to double check, 2120, that's 200 plus 90 is enough. So we are going to be able to take the knockout with Raikou. So we will Beach Court, retreat, so we don't have to discard the energy. And we will also Fleet-Footed to draw a card because we can. Ooh, we can judge, but I don't think my opponent's hand is good, so I won't bother. I'd rather hold the Serena. And then we can Lightning Rondo for 290. More than we need, but because we set up the 3rd Regieleki VMAX just enough, otherwise we would have been 10 short. So we will take 2 prize cards. Electric Generator, Basic Lightning. We knew that there were a couple Electric Generators here in the prize cards, potentially, so we will have to see what my opponent's next step is. We are ahead 3 prize cards already. They are going to be able to attack with this Gardevoir. I think on this next turn, if they don't knock us out, the best course of action will be to retreat into this Miraidon if we can get this Electric Generator off, knock it out, and judge them at the same time. So if this Electric Generator can get 2 Lightning Energy, that's the play, is we attack with this Miraidon, knock out that Gardevoir. Keep the one that has the damage on the bench. This will probably have damage on it as well. But we are going to have to see if they can get a Gardevoir EX. Otherwise, this Gardevoir will not be able to attack. So they are going to Level Ball for a Ralts, which they can Rare Candy into a Gardevoir at a later point in the game. I think they've used all their refinements and everything already. They have 9 cards in hand. Yeah, I think I was right to not judge them, because it doesn't... The fact that they're not... Yeah, the fact that they weren't doing anything here, and they were thinking, means that they don't have it yet. Yeah, and if they got the Gardevoir EX, they would have slapped it down on that Curlia so fast, so... Yeah, we're going to see another Fog Crystal, most likely drew that off of the Shining Arcana. I might not even have to edit this video because these two matches were in a row. Oh, we're seeing Jacques. I love how they have the texture. 2 evolution Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand. So we are going to see the Gardevoir EX. We will likely get knocked out this turn. That will put a lot of damage onto this Gardevoir here. It would be really nice if this deck had a way to, like, do bench damage. Then we can, like, Serena. Well, no, there's nothing to Serena, I suppose. So this is, like, the slowest ability on PTCGL. This is actually I think my second time playing against Gardevoir EX on here. It's not super common. I think a lot of people realize that it just takes too much setup. I mean, as you can see, I've already taken 3 prize cards before my opponent is set up here. Alright, come on, Gardevoir. You can do it. Knock me out. So it does 60 plus 30 for each psychic energy on it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so that's 210 with the 5 energies. How many energies do they still have in their discard pile? 1, 2, 3. So I will promote this because as free retreat, why not? Now here's the thing. If this electric generator hits 2 energies on my Miraidon, and, well, if I had a boss, I keep thinking the Serena can bring up the EX, but I know it can't. I'm going to electric generator anyway. We do get the 2. Okay, so I'm going to slap those both down onto here. And then attach for turn, and then judge. Get rid of my opponent's amazingly great hand. We do get a Klefki as well as a Nest Ball. I will burn the Nest Ball. I don't know if I want another Pokemon. I think I can just get the Klefki to thin. And then we still have the Forest Seal as well. Actually, oh, you know what? I could have Forest Sealed and knocked out the Gardevoir, couldn't I have? I think it's fine either way. So we're going to go for this. We're going to Photon Blast. Yeah, 310. So we would have knocked out the Gardevoir. But then my opponent would have been left with a gigantic hand. So it's like, do you want to leave your opponent with the big hand and take the prize cards? Or what? So I don't know. Maybe it would have been better to just use the Forest Seal Stone, get boss's orders, and bring up Gardevoir. If we have the boss's orders in deck. Because we haven't used one yet. So we should have a couple in deck. But yeah, that will be the plan for next turn, is to bring up Gardevoir EX. Hopefully a Regieleki VMAX does not get one shot. They should be able to put 6 energies on Gardevoir and knock me out here on the Shining Arcana. Ooh, fun fact, I also did pull 2 of these Gardevoirs, so I might actually play those on PTCGL. As you can see, I'm more of a low rarity guy, but I have so many, like, dust credits that it's insane. I could make max rarity everything if I really wanted to, I'm pretty sure. I think I could straight up pay for 100 secret rares with what I have right now. Or at least close to it. Looks like we are going to see the boss's orders. Yeah, so this will be the problem. If they boss up this Regieleki and knock it out, because it has the Forest Seal Stone, then I don't have the way to win on this next turn unless I top deck the boss. Even if I top deck the boss, I'll still be 30 damage short. So it was a misplay last turn to not use the Forest Seal Stone. Completely forgetting that I had it on there because obviously it's just this little blob instead of an actual card attached. But that is my misplay. And this is also like my 3rd game ever with the deck, so. Alright, they're going to Miriam. So they're not bossing? Okay. Well, then I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's a misplay from them. They should have taken out the Regieleki VMAX. I mean, there's no way that they could have known, right? But you got to always play to... You always have to assume that your opponent has everything that they need. Or has the outs to everything. So, like, the Forest Seal Stone for them should be scary, because I can just Boss Gardevoir, knockout, win. So now I'm just waiting on my opponent's turn to finish. Because they shouldn't be playing catcher or anything, so my whole bench should be safe. But yeah, that was a pretty awful misplay by me not using the Forest Seal Stone on the last turn. But this is exactly how I played PTCGO, and this is how I played PTCG Live, is I just misplay. If it was IRL, I probably wouldn't have missed that. But I always just play it much worse quality online. That's why I can't play for crap in the team challenges either. Alright, they are loading up quite a lot of energy here. That is the 6th that they need to knock out Miraidon and no more. They're going to hit for 240. Yeah, so if they did a 7th energy and went boss here, that probably would have won them the game. So I'm just going to move Miraidon up. We are hitting 310, and we even top deck the boss's orders for good measure. Let's go. We will Photon Blaster, and we end up beating Gardevoir EX. I think those were 2 pretty good showcases of how this deck works. So as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It always feeds that YouTube algorithm. They are very important in making sure that other people are being fed my content so that they can see it if they are interested in it. So if you are interested in it, do all of those things, and it will help other people. And we will see you guys next time.